Here at NYY Recaps, we like to support young, up-and-coming podcasters. Today's guest is the co-host of the Foul Territory podcast, which is new for 2023. Oh, and he also just happens to be a two-time Major League All-Star, 2015 Home Run Derby champion, and a member of the 2017 New York Yankees. Please welcome the man they call the Todd Father, henceforth known as the Pod Father, Mr. Todd Frazier.
The Todd Father, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Good. That intro was very nice. One of the best I've ever seen. I appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Before we get started, I got to get the legal stuff out of the way. I'm required by law to say that you're from Toms River, New Jersey, and that you played in the Little League World Series.
Thank you.
It's a federal law. It's not just a state thing. So, I got to.
No, that you can get in a lot of trouble if you didn't say that. You might not be able to do this cast anymore. So good for you by saying that.
So you were traded to the Yankees in 2017, and I don't think John Q. Citizen really understands what it's like to be traded. Most of us can't envision showing up at work one day and our boss saying, "Hey, sorry, Dave, you're going to Cleveland. We got a Xerox machine and a new office fish tank for you." What's it like to have to uproot and go play for a new team in the middle of the season?
Yeah, there's a lot of variables. I mean, not only baseball-wise, you got to meet new people. You're so accustomed to, not only the coaches, the players, the staff, security guards, the person that helps you out in the parking garage, just to name a couple things, the snack vendors that come down and give you a wave every day. But now you got to uproot and move your house. And my wife did everything. We got to move the car. We got to find a place to live in another town or city. And my wife's doing that all by herself. So for me, I just got to play baseball, pack up a bag or two. I'm the lucky one, man. My wife, she was a trooper. Jackie Frazier, we love you. But, yeah, it stinks. We cried. We were upset because you're used to being somewhere. It stinks. But, yeah, imagine doing it 6 times and, figuring out that, fax machine for sure.
Did you know that you were going to be dealt? Was that something they told you, hey, you might be traded? And if so, did you have any idea where you might go?
The rumors, there's a rumorville all the time. I mean, your agent knows more than anything. They say, hey, man, it looks like you might go here. If this falls, you might go there. But there's this other team lurking in the window too as well. So you don't necessarily know where, but once the rumorville mill starts going, and your agent starts telling you be ready, it doesn't seem real until it is real.
So we got a last minute question from an audience member that says, which team was better to play for, Yankees or the Mets? I know you're going to say the Yankees because it's a Yankees podcast, but what were the differences kind of between the two?
Yeah, most definitely. It's funny. People always ask me, like, hey, man, you played for the Yankees. Like, why does everybody say it's so different? Like, what's so cool about it? And I can't even get an answer. It's just when you walk into the stadium, the respect and, you got to come in ready to play. You can't come in slouching. Like, listen, shave the beard. If you want a mustache, have that. There's expectations when you walk in there. And, makes you stronger, makes you better no matter what age you are, feel like you could do more, and makes you powerful, man. And, with New York Mets, it was great too as well. I played there a little longer. But, they're a team that we're always trying to find a ways to win and not worry. We're trying not to worry about the outside distraction. It always seemed like there was an outside distraction. But, we just want to play baseball. And, that's probably the only difference really I have.
Very cool. What was it like to play for Joe Girardi, and were you surprised when the Yankees didn't bring him back when you guys got so close to the World Series?
Yeah, I was surprised. But you never know what's going to happen in this business, man. I know we didn't make it to the championship, World Series, I should say. I understand, the Astros, they cheated. But at the same time, I thought Joe was a great manager. He's a great guy. And, I thought he'd get on his feet again, and he did with the Phillies. So kudos to him and whatever he's doing.
You just mentioned the Astros and their 2017 scandal. Where were you when you heard about that? What was your reaction? Are you still mad about it? That type of thing.
Yeah, I was at home, actually, when I heard it come out. What was the pitcher's name that came out and said it that was on the team? Mike Fiers, is that his name? Okay. Yes. I heard it, and I was like, this will probably get blown over. I don't know what he's talking, banging, a garbage can or whatever. And then they showed the video of, I think Farquhar was the pitcher.
Yeah.
With the White Sox, and he changed the signs. I'm like, oh, my God, there's something going on here. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So for me, I was upset. I was pissed off. I still am. I was like, oh man, get over it. Well, that was my one time to make it to the World Series. So why should I get over it? Whatever, they basically got a slap on the wrist. So that's basically it. And my man, Pete Rose, is still not getting in the Hall of Fame for what he did. So, that's a topic for another story.
Yeah. I agree with you on Pete Rose. With the way that they're letting betting into the game now, I just feel like the lines are going to be blurred eventually. I mean, I've always felt like, he was betting on himself, and I get you're not supposed to bet. He's been suspended for 30 some odd years. Maybe, let him into the Hall of Fame, but don't let him manage. That seems like a fair compromise at this point.
Yeah, I get that 100%. But he paid his dues, man. We got guys doing steroids that get 80 games and then they get a full year, which I think is worse than what he did. I mean, he's a great guy. He made some mistakes. I get it. He shouldn't have done that. He should have gotten in trouble. Don't get me wrong. But, now we got betting sites on games underneath on the bottom line. Right. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah. And, I think about other things too, like the lifetime ban. Somebody like Shoeless Joe Jackson can't be in the Hall of Fame, but a lifetime ban should end when your lifetime ends. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, that's another good point. But at the end, it's like, you give them the award when they're not living anymore. I mean, What does it really mean? Who's going to get it? Their kid or their, grandchild? Yeah, it's nice to have, but at the same time, why not celebrate them while they're still alive and have a chance? They'll be their naysayers. I get it. I understand both sides, but being a baseball player, to me, I think he should be there.
I hear you. So you played for Dusty Baker in Cincinnati. He won his first World Series last year with the Astros. What are your thoughts on Dusty as a manager?
Yeah, I love him, man. I was so happy for him. He deserved it. He's been always inked to not winning that World Series. He's not going to be in the Hall of Fame if he doesn't win it. But now what are they going to say? So he was my first manager coming up, man. He taught me the ins and outs of baseball, on and off the field, of life as well. And I hit him up about a week later because I know his phone was blowing up. So I'm like, all right, maybe he'll hit me back right away. And he did. And I texted his son too, Darren, and he's doing well too in the minor leagues.
Very, very cool. So we're about a week into the pitch clock era, not including spring training. Got the bigger bases, the shift getting banned, seeing more hits. What are your thoughts on the new rules so far?
I like them. I like them a lot. The stolen bases I talked about. There's going to be somebody with 70, 80 stolen bases this year.
Volpe.
I love. Yeah. I'm hoping that he got 3 in a row right there off the bat. That's nice. Maybe move him up in the lineup a little bit. You never know. I would like to see him. I think he led off a lot during spring training, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I would love to see him lead off again. I heard a little inkling that. Yeah, I heard an inkling that that Booney's been thinking about it. That's how it starts. Something starts up with a thought. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, the stolen base can be great. We had a game under 2 hours yesterday. I think that's phenomenal. So these fans need to get there early and they need to be ready for first pitch. So yes, I do love how it's going.
Do you have an opinion on a potential automated strike zone? We heard from Manfred that that's kind of the next thing they're looking at. We've seen in the minor leagues, there's a challenge system now where players can tap on the top of their head or whatever and challenge the strike call. What are your thoughts on that?
I like the challenge. I like that a lot. I don't like the automated strike zone. I like the human element. I like the arguing. I like getting thrown. I like seeing guys getting thrown out of games. I think fans love that too as well. Basically, oh, there goes, look at Machado. He's in his face. They're going back at it. I love that and I enjoy that. That's going to take the human element out of it, and I think that will hurt the game, in my opinion. I want to see the umpires out there. I want to see mistakes where people could talk about it the next day. Did you see that umpire, what he did? That's baseball. That's Monday morning baseball talk. So that stuff you never forget. You always, remember, 3 years ago when the umpire blew the call, that's the human element. That's life. And I thoroughly enjoy that.
That's a good point. I've been on record as saying I'm in favor of the automated strike zone, but I think you just won me over. So you're going to be an excellent podcaster. The thing that, as you were talking about that, I was thinking about Tino Martinez's grand slam in the 98 World Series. Without the strike before that got called a ball, we don't get that grand slam.
No,
so, yeah.
100%. 100%. You go back to a lot of instances like that. I remember I was on a bus. We just won the Little League World Series. We were driving home from the White House. I remember like it was yesterday. And the kids nowadays won't understand this. We had a little portable radio, and we couldn't hear it. And I had it to my ear like this. And I hear John Sterling, hit us high, hit us far, hit us. And I'm like, he hit a home run. And everybody was absolutely going bonkers. But I did go to the game before, and I remember Howard Reynolds brought me, or the game after, Howard Reynolds brought me in the stadium, and I remember him telling one of the Major League Baseball brass, hey, tell so-and-so, it was the right call. He didn't call one low pitch a strike all game. So if you're going to be consistent with it, you can't be mad at the umpire. Just like in my Little League games. The guy's strike zone was the size of the earth, but he was consistent the other day. I couldn't yell at him, so it was all good.
So, Todd, I know you got to do your live show, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about the Foul Territory podcast. It's your new podcast this season. You guys are streaming all the time. What made you want to get into podcasting and kind of just tell me about what you guys are doing over there?
Yeah, after I was done, I always see these guys doing podcasts. Everybody had a pod. I'm like, man, maybe it's time for me to get on a show, and an opportunity came to me, and I couldn't turn it down. So I'm working a couple days a week. It's called Foul Territory. It's on all live streams from 1 to 3, from Monday to Friday. And it's the player's perspective. We're getting guys on, from Carlos Correa to, Max Muncy to all these big names, coaches. We're getting umpires. It's the player's perspective and coach's perspective to say anything they want, get things off their mind. We're going to get guys in here just after they got into a brawl during the game. What was said. What was going on? Why'd you argue with that umpire? And it's just talking shop. And I think it's a perspective that everybody would love to hear. The fans are going to enjoy it thoroughly because it's no holds bar. We're going to get after it. We're going to ask the tough questions, and they're going to come back with honest opinions about what's going on. And it's something that it's natural to me. It's like we're shooting the shit at the bar right now, and you speak your mind. So that's all I got.
Well, I got to say, I've watched a little bit of it. It's very good. You're a natural. And if you guys ever need any kind of assistance, I'm open. So hit me up. Loved having you on the show. One more time for Mr. Todd Frazier. Thanks a bunch, man.
All right, you got it there.